Hello everyone, welcome back to the Jargus Ranger Review. This time we'll be looking at the 10th episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, the Ranger Ribbon. Now it starts off with Preston taking everyone to this big tree that has a bunch of ribbons pinned onto it. Apparently it's a local tradition around the city to put ribbons on it to commemorate special occasions and whatnot. And like special memories for all to see. Well, that's pretty neat. Until a bunch of workers come to try and cut it down. And they go out of their way to make them look so over-the-top villainous as possible. They don't even look intimidating. It's just ran up so high it's just ridiculous. Even a boss comes out to oversee it. And of course, he plans to do it himself if they won't. Oh, and it turns out that he's actually Preston's father. So he's really displeased because the Rangers aren't gonna let it go down when hundreds of people have the memories there. Unfortunately, they can't really do anything because, there's people in the way. So he makes Preston get in his car and they talk about it. He's saying that it's costing him a lot of money and whatnot. Clearly a businessman. Now, where have I heard that before in Power Rangers? Oh yeah, Time Force. But the other Rangers decide that they're gonna gather up a bunch of people, get some flyers to spread the word around. Whereas Haley and Calvin stay behind to protect the tree and use their smartphones to spread the word. Now, unfortunately, the Rangers are having a hard time, supposedly, finding people to help during the calls. But people are letting them put out flyers, so they are helping a little bit. But while Brody is on his own, he encounters our monster of the week called Trap Saw. He was basically a weasel-like with, saw-like hands, and he sets up traps with a big X. Unfortunately, a running gag is that his traps never trigger for his targets. Instead, he gets hit by all of them. First by an anvil dropping on him on the Galaxy Warrior stage, and then again against Brody, where it has a giant brick wrecking ball that hits him. But before he can fight him, when he makes himself known, a Ripcon comes to fight Brody himself. So a battle goes between them. He doesn't have a chance to call the others. Unfortunately, he's still a little bit outmatched. And we get to find out that Brody is 18 years old. He was there for 10 years and they state he was 8 when that happened. So not bad. I don't think we got an accurate age for him until now. Makes Levi Weston being a little older than them, and not so far-fetched anymore. It was kind of funny, Levi is in this episode, but he's just there like he's one of the rest of them. He don't stand out. Except the whole time I see him on screen, he's wearing that cowboy hat. And no one seems to mention that it's him. Oh, and by the way, 2 of the father's, interns, happen to be, you guessed it, Victor, Vincent, and Monty. So when they try to force people away from the tree, Preston uses his ranger magic, since it only works when he's protecting someone else, to take control of the hose and keep them away. So ultimately there's a big protest finally, at the last second for the tree, so they can't take it down. Even the workers are doubting that they should do it. And even Preston shows up and he confronts his father. He was kind of too meek to do it before, but he has a lot of support now. And he's saying he refuses to back it down. And then one ribbon falls off and lands on his father, and he actually reads what's written on it. And apparently, it's one that his parents got when he was born, Preston's parents. And they put it on the tree on their way home from the hospital. And so that opens up a bunch of feelings within his father, because he basically locked a lot of his emotions away when, the woman died. They kinda said it subtly early in the episode. So he says, you're a lot like your mother, she'd be proud of you. He starts tearing up, and he says, I'll be proud of us both. So they embrace each other, and they call off the operation. That's well and good, but oh yes, back to the fight with Ripcon. I skipped half of it. Yeah, Brody can't really beat him, but he does use his ninja speed to collide with his Ripcon sword attack, and the recoil knocks them both away. But Brody runs off because he knows he can't beat him yet. He has to train more, and he has to warn the others about Trap Saw. But of course, they don't see him again until the Kudabots, yes, the Kudabots return, start blasting the tree with their spears like their rifles being used by the Shinra soldiers. Because apparently he has a trap set somewhere near the tree, but because of all the commotion, it's not being triggered, so he ain't happy. Well, screw you, we don't want that happening. But the Rangers fight off the Kudabots unmorphed, and apparently when they hit them or kick them, their foot or hand will start to glow, and it's more impactful. Probably the best unmorphed fight we've seen so far. And so what Preston saw is even more amazed at how he even saved him from attack from Trapsaw. And he says, "We'll see you later, I'm gonna check on the other people." Which really means he's running off to help the Rangers fight Trapsaw. And so once he's defeated, of course he gets grown larger. And really the Megazord fight is the least interesting part of this entire episode. Because really, the Ninja Red Zord just runs a circle around him, does one kick, Trapsaw doesn't even try to attack, and then the Megazord just does its finishing blow, with this final slash. It's nothing special at all. Now in the aftermath, our 2 high school interns have been fired already. But lo and behold, right at the bench where they're sitting at, happens to be their last trap. So the whole thing just caves in and they fall down. And the hole doesn't sound that deep, but it must hurt a lot. Those 2 never catch a break, do they? I mean, this time they weren't really even being bad or anything, they were just doing a job. I mean, they have to be somewhat confident to become an intern while they're still in high school. But oh well, they're always going to be the butt of everyone's jokes in Ninja Steel. But most importantly, Preston's father decides to preserve the tree as a park. An episode is called the Ranger Ribbon because at the start of the episode, Preston made a ribbon of all their names, all 6 of them together, to put it on the tree. So that's nice. But the real important thing is, right after the aftermath, when they're walking away, they encounter someone who talks to Brody. And apparently, it's his brother Aiden. He found him. And so the 2 brothers hug each other and the episode ends with no more dialogue. So already this is going to be really interesting. Because also on Galaxy Warrior's spaceship, Galvanax and Odious are going at Ripcon for failing again. Saying that basically he'll be destroyed if he messes up one more time. So to me this means either the next episode or the one after, he's going to get destroyed for good, most likely. But what's really interesting is, what happened to Brody? Where has he been for 10 years? I mean, we had this big red herring where I thought he was going to be the Gold Ranger, kept prisoner all this time. But no, it was just, Levi Weston for a couple months, for a short period of time. So, I don't know. And how did they find each other exactly? It's a big mystery. That's going to be a huge revelation and plot forward. I mean, this episode was really solid all around. I mean, the action wasn't all that good, but it was good enough given the context. And really, we're progressing the actual plot forward because Aiden's back, and we're going to see what happened next time. And hopefully it'll be really interesting, and not something half-assed like with Levi Weston. Anyway, I'm Jargus Ranger. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Until then, let the power protect you.